Welcome, students of Europe Hotel School. I'm an AI expert in hotel operations, and over my career, I've seen one skill, time and time again, that separates the good from the truly great. And that's the ability to genuinely understand the modern luxury guest. So in this masterclass, we're going to break that down completely. So let's start with the big question, the one every five-star property on the planet is trying to answer. Who exactly is the luxury traveler? Now, it sounds simple, right? But believe me, getting this right is pretty much the difference between success and failure in this business. Because the truth is, the answer is way more complex than just someone with a high net worth. The old way of doing things, targeting guests based on broad categories like their age or their income, that's totally obsolete now. Real success today comes from a much deeper, much more human understanding of what really motivates someone to walk through your doors. All right, so here's our roadmap. We're going to start by moving beyond demographics. Then we'll break down 4 key traveler profiles, the leisure and corporate guest, and then the lifestyle and elite guest. After that, we'll get into the universal psychology that drives their decisions, and we'll wrap up by talking about your mission as a future leader, which is all about seeing the person, not just the reservation. Okay, first things first. This part requires a huge mental shift. We have to stop using static labels like age and income, and instead we need to start focusing on what drives people, their motivations. It's not about who your guest is anymore, it's about why they chose you. And the key concept here is something called psychographic motivation. It's a fancy term, but all it really means is figuring out the complex human reasons that make someone turn their money into an experience. Your job, as a leader, is to learn how to read that internal compass. Let's dive into our first 2 major profiles. Now, I want you to think of the leisure and corporate guests as 2 sides of the exact same luxury coin. They both have the money to spend, for sure, but their reasons for traveling, worlds apart. And that means their expectations are too. Okay, so the leisure traveler, for them, a hotel stay is an emotional investment. It's a reward. They're usually trying to escape a super high-pressure job or celebrate a big moment in their life. And because of that, what moves them is powerful storytelling and the promise of a unique experience, not a 10% discount. And this quote it nails it. For the leisure guest, you have to sell the why. You're not selling a room. You're selling a feeling, renewal, inspiration, a memory that's going to last forever. The suite? That's just the stage where it all happens. Now, let's flip the coin, the corporate traveler. For this person, the hotel is a tool. It's part of their game plan for professional success. They need everything to be efficient, discreet, and consistent. Seamless Wi-Fi, quick check-in, no fuss. And here's a crucial detail. A lot of the time, it's their executive assistant making the booking, so earning that person's trust is absolutely key. Let's just put them side by side for a second. The leisure guest is after emotional fulfillment. The corporate guest wants professional success. One values transformation, the other values pure reliability. You see? This means your whole sales approach has to change. You go from selling the why to building solid, dependable trust. They're 2 completely different playbooks. Okay, so now let's get into 2 even more specialized segments. With the lifestyle and elite guests, we're moving beyond just travel needs and into the world of personal identity and, well, total exclusivity. The lifestyle traveler. This person sees your hotel as an extension of who they are, of their personal brand. Think of hotels that sell a specific vibe. These guests are creatives, entrepreneurs, influencers. They're drawn to amazing design and a buzzing social scene. To them, a hotel isn't just a bed for the night. It's a cultural hotspot. It's a place to see and be seen. And then you have the elite traveler, the ultra-high net worth individual. For this guest, forget everything you think you know about traditional service. They demand 3 things above all else: absolute privacy, total control, and extreme personalization. They expect service so good it's practically invisible. You anticipate their needs before they even think of them. Your marketing doesn't matter, your reputation is everything. The hotel has to be their private fortress. And this means your whole relationship has to shift. As the quote says, you're not just a service provider anymore. You become a trusted advisor. This takes incredible emotional intelligence. You have to understand their lifestyle, their security, their personal quirks. It's a whole different level of hospitality. So we've broken down these 4 distinct guest types. But now let's zoom out for a minute. What are the universal psychological forces that drive all of them, no matter which category they fall into? It really comes down to 3 things. First, emotion. Choosing a luxury hotel is a psychological decision. The guest is asking, does this brand reflect who I am? Second, risk reduction. Look, when you're spending that much money and time, you need an ironclad guarantee that it's going to be perfect. Reputation is everything. And third, the cultural filter. And this one's huge. What an American guest considers great, chatty service, a guest from Japan might find intrusive. They might value quiet discretion. Understanding these differences is absolutely non-negotiable. And that leads us to a skill we really focus on at Europe Hotel School, becoming what we call cultural chameleons. It's about having the awareness to pick up on those subtle cultural cues and adjust your style on the fly, without ever losing the core DNA of your brand. It's a really sophisticated balancing act, but it's essential.
All right, let's pull all of this together. What does this all mean for you as you prepare to become the next generation of leaders in this industry? What's your real job here?
Well, it starts with recognizing that luxury is a long game. The best brands in the world know that it takes years to build a reputation and only one bad stay to damage it. Delivering flawlessly every single time isn't just a nice goal. It's the entire business model. It's how you address that fundamental need for risk reduction.
And this right here is the bottom line. This is what it all comes down to. Your success in this incredibly demanding market depends on one simple thing: your ability to see the actual human being behind the booking, with all their hopes, their fears, and their unique reasons for being there.
So I'll leave you with this question to think about as you move forward in your careers. When you're a leader and you're dealing with all the pressure of budgets and operations, how are you going to build the teams, the training, and the culture that never, ever forgets to see the human and not just the reservation? That is your challenge. And honestly, it's also your greatest opportunity in modern luxury.